Hi folks, Spidey's back tonight. It's been about 5 or 6 days since I did my last webcast, maybe a week or so. Of course, Penny's been doing it. He's been hogging it. I've been doing some other things. But first, before we start that, I want to say hi, Kara. Always for you, hon. Always for you. Anyway, enough with that. Let's get to reviews. Okay, tonight we're going to review something very special. I know a lot of you people are huge fans, as I am, of this TV series that premiered back in the early, 64, 65, something like that. And, I mean, it's my favorite TV series of all time. It only ran for 2 seasons. Let's turn this down a little bit, because Leatherhead is starting to irritate me. I'm going to turn his vile crap down from the basement. You know what he's doing down there, Leatherhead. Anyway, we're going to talk about my favorite and something that I grew up with, and I still am a huge fan of this TV series. We're talking about the Munsters. I know a lot of you are going to go, what are you talking about? It's like 50 years old. It would be 70, 80, 90, yeah, maybe 50 years old. Oh my God, how time flies. As a kid, I used to watch all these episodes, on TV and the reruns growing up, of course. And I just think this TV series was the best. It was simple. It was all American. It was down to earth. It was just fun. How can you not love Herman Munster, Lily, Grandpa, Eddie, Marilyn, Spot? Oh my God! And the crazy Raven in the Clock, and all the guest stars that were on this particular TV show and cameos, like from Paul Lynde, Dom DeLuise, John Fiddler, Gary Owens. Oh my God, there were so many famous people that came onto this show, which actually tells you something, that this show had a very strong following. It would have been really nice if they would have done 1 more or 2 more seasons of this. I don't understand why they cut it. They pulled the cord after 2 seasons. It's really a shame, because I've seen these episodes probably, oh God, well, I'm not going to give you exact numbers because I don't have exact numbers. But anyway, I do love this show very much. In fact, I'm watching it right now again. Every time I decide I get bored with some of my other collection in my video library, I always go back to the Munsters. I wasn't a huge Addams Family fan, though I do have all their 3 seasons on DVD. But I preferred Munsters over the Addams Family any day of the week. Maybe it was the monsters, oh my God, there were so many great. I mean, how can you not love the Munsters? As a kid, I wanted to be part of the Munsters family. I would love to go back and just be, Eddie or something, or maybe another kid in the TV show. Actually, bring it to real life. I think I would love to live in that mansion, because it was so unique and so creepy, and yet it had a nice family, down-to-earth feel about it, because it was a loving family. Of course, they were bizarre looking. They were the Munsters. But you know something? That family had more love in that house among the members of that family than pretty much any family I can think of since then. They just absolutely loved each other. They stuck up for each other. They helped each other. They were loving parents. The kids were great. They were funny. Al Lewis's grandpa. I mean, come on. Always smoking those cheap cigars, and his potions down in the base in the dungeon, as they call it, and Herman always getting into trouble with Grandpa down in the dungeon, and Marilyn, of course, looking like the normal one, always having trouble getting boys, because boys are always come over to drop her off from a date. And of course, they catch one look at the rest of the family, and they'd skedaddle as fast as they could, like jumping over fences and flying off. It was great stuff, man. It was very simple comedy, which I really, really enjoyed. I got both seasons on DVD. I got this big, nice box set right here, the complete first season of the Munsters. It's like a really thick box. It's really nice. It's a regular DVD. It's not Blu-ray. I'm not even really sure if these are on Blu-ray, but there they are. That's season 1. That's really a thick one. Oh my God. And then we have season 2, of course, a little thinner, has Herman on the cover, and I try. The thing is, I will never sell these. I would never sell these. under any circumstances. You know, I've sold hundreds and hundreds of movies over the years, you know, to various video stores, you know, CD shops and video shops here in Minneapolis that buy, you know, back used stuff. So I would never sell these unless, the only reason I would sell these is because if they came out on Blu-ray, I would consider buying both seasons on Blu-ray. I have to check into that, as a matter of fact, because I really don't know. They might be on Blu-ray now. I think I'll go to Amazon later on to see, you know, but you know, I just, you know, like I said, all the jokes were corny. It was just like, you wanted to be, like I said before, you wanted to be part of this family. It didn't matter that they looked like monsters. It just, you felt like you were part of the family as a kid growing up. Even as an adult, you felt like you wanted to be there. You wanted to get involved in all the mischief and all the, you know, the goofery stuff, all the goofery type stuff, you know, and just, oh my God, it was just, and the house is amazing. You know, I don't think we ever saw a back shot of the house, except maybe in the garage or something. We were making that casket dragster for you know, Herman's race against that one guy that won his original car, you know, in that one race on the drag racing course, you know. But you know, mostly it was front shots of the house, you know, and the door going out to the front gates with all the bars and everything, and you know, the dead weeds and the trees and everything, and you know, there's something about it that just appeals to me so much. You know, people always go, "You're weird. Why would you want to live in a place like that?" Because it's cool. It stands out from the rest of the houses in the neighborhood, and it was just fun. You ever notice? Of course, everybody did. I always noticed that it was always raining or blowing leaves on that particular house, and the rest of the block were normal looking. You know, with all the rest of the house were pristine and everything and kept up, and their house is all like haunted house looking stuff in the yard, and the way their house looked and everything, and always raining. You know. On top of their house and no rain anywhere else in the neighborhood. So, you know, that I gotta shut this off. That's enough. That's enough there. That's enough. You know, these are gonna get a very high rating for me. As a matter of fact, I just, you know, I'm not gonna go into every single particular episode because I thought maybe season 1 was a little bit stronger than season 2. I know there were some complaints from the cast members that the writing on season 2 was a little weaker, they thought, compared to the original first season. Maybe it is a little bit weak, but I still think it rates just as good as season 1. I think, you know. I mean, how can you not love this guy? How can you not love Fred Gwynne, of course, as Herman Munster? You know, and then you got Al Lewis as Grandpa, and you got Butch Patrick as Eddie. You got Pat Priest, and then as Marilyn. And who was the original one? I can't think of her name. She was on season 1 for a while, and then they replaced her because she was in love with her boyfriend. She didn't want to go to California or something, so she went back to the East Coast to marry her boyfriend or something. But Pat Priest is fine. Let's see. Ooh, hang on for a second. Oh, it's winter here in Minnesota. It's getting a little nippy. Anyway, who else was I talking about? Well, then you had, let's see, we had, oh, of course we had Yvonne DeCarlo. Oh, man, I was in love with her. She was so beautiful. What a beautiful woman. Lily Munster. How can you not fall in love with Yvonne DeCarlo? Of all the scream queens and all the TV stars that portrayed these type of characters from, you know, 60s on or 50s on, I thought she was the cutest. I would love to marry her any day of the week. I would love to have her for a wife. She was just so cool. You know, and of course, Grandpa, like I said before, and Herman, he's always bumbling Herman, you know, he's always getting himself into some kind of trouble, you know, and of course he works at the funeral parlor, you know, just, I mean, God, it's just so zany. It was completely zany, and it was just so much fun. You know, and a little Butch Patrick is Eddie, and he was such a cool little kid, you know, and he's always wanted to, you know, his friends thought he's so cool because he had the pointed ears and everything, you know, and he always wore the dark schoolboy clothes, you know, and he was kind of like a, you know, looked like he was actually a little vampire. That's what he was. He was their kid. And of course, when he went to bed at night, you could hear him closing the. Or I think he slept in a dresser drawer or something. He would shut the. I don't know. You could hear the lid closing and stuff, And oh my God. I think what they should have done though, they should have gone with the season 3 and brought some more characters in. That's what my recommendation would have been. Of course, unfortunately, most of them are passed away by now. Fred Gwynne is gone. Al Lewis is gone. Yvonne DeCarlo is gone, I believe. And I think Paul Lynn is their doctor. Dom DeLuise, I think, are both gone. I mean, they had a lot of great character actors coming on that show, and playing like mailmen or doctors or stuff. He's just so, just completely bewildered by the way that the Munsters looked. They weren't shocked. They were just like, you can't possibly exist, looking like that. I know the one episode that really cracked me up a lot was when Herman Munster. I gotta keep this shut down. I'm getting sick of Leatherface down there. He's driving me nuts, man. Okay, I shouldn't. When Fred Gwynne got hit by lightning, or a lightning bolt in Grandpa's dungeon one day, and he turned back to the way Fred Gwynne actually looks like, and of course the rest of the Munsters were horrified because he looked like a normal man, and I thought that was kind of a funny episode. Of course, they were, horrified of him because he looked normal, and they looked like they do, and of course it took like, and of course then Grandpa tried to do the same procedure. The lightning or the lightning bolts in the head, he turned Herman into a woman with a block. Oh my God, that's so stupid. It was so stupid, and he had to go take a job as a cocktail waitress for me. Then of course he got hit by lightning out in the front yard and turned back to Herman at the end, sort of thing. It's always happy endings at the very end, All the family, even though they get snubbed by the rest of the neighbors in the community, they're always upbeat. They always think it's somebody else's problem. They're normal, everybody else is weird looking, which I thought that was actually kind of funny. They walk down the street and everybody'd run, or they just kind of like walk 10 feet out of their way to get away from Herman and Grandpa walking down the street or something, and. But they always figured that they looked normal and everybody else was the oddballs in the world, which it's kind of funny, And I love those cars too. How can you not love that dragster Grandpa made? And of course the big car that the family drove, the black one. Awesome cars. I mean, I actually got model kits of both those cars. They're actually pretty cool. I've never put them together, but I have them. Yes. Oh God. What else can we talk about? Anyway, these are classics, man. A lot of people go, "Oh man, what do you keep watching that crap for?" Because I grew up with it. I love it. Yeah, and I would give anything to go back and be part of this family. I just feel like it was a much more loving. Of course, I'm not going to get into my history. It was nearly as loving as that, and you're not even remotely close. But that's another story, And I would love to go back and relive those days and maybe possibly, be part of that TV series or maybe in real life, just to kind of get away from today's garbage that you got to deal with in the world, And, but anyway, of course, a lot of people are going to compare the Munsters to the Addams Family. Now, I did like the Addams Family. I have all 3 of their seasons on DVD, but I watched the Munsters probably 10-1 over the Addams Family any day of the week. Of course, Jackie Coogan actually made some at least one cameo in the Munsters season 2. I can't remember which episode it was. Of course, he was Uncle Fester in the Addams Family, and but either you're in the Addams Family camp or you're in the Munsters camp. I was always in the Munsters camp. I just felt like it was, like I said before, it was more to my liking because of maybe the haunted house type look, Of course, the Addams Family had kind of a haunted house too, You always Lurch. How can you not love Lurch? This guy was great. Lurch and Uncle Fester, Jackie Coogan, and the whole family was really good. Wednesday and Pugsley and Gomez, and Grandmama, They're all good, But I would rate the Munsters higher than that, you know, because I just feel like they're, I think, just a better TV series altogether. You know, they're vastly different. You know, the Addams Family's a loving family, of course, but they're more bizarre. You know, so the Munsters are more. I mean, let's say the Addams Family are more bizarre and kind of kooky. The Munsters are more creepy, kooky and creepy. I think that's the best way to explain Addams Family: kooky, Munsters, creepy. Oh God, we're already at what, 15 minutes into this review? But anyway, I could keep babbling on and babbling on. I hope I haven't repeated myself. You know, I thought some of the guest cameos by some of these famous stars like Paul Lynde and John Fiedler and Gary Owens and, you know, and a lot of famous people, Dom DeLuise, they did a really good job. Of course, they played it for laughs, and that's what the TV series was about. It was about laughs and having a good time. Regardless of how the Munsters looked, they were such a loving family. So let's rate these before I keep repeating myself. You know, I don't even think there's a question mark here. They both get a 10. Both seasons get a 10. The Munsters get a 10, folks. You know, a lot of people can debate me to the end of time on this, but the Munsters get a perfect rating of 10 on both their season 1 and season 2 episodes and the box sets. You know, it's not like one of my other movie reviews where I give it like a 7 or 8 Spiderwebs or something. I'm going to give each of these seasons a 10 Spiderwebs because I just feel they deserve it. They're basically legends from the 60s. Of course, they did make 2 movies. One in the 80s. I think Munsters Go Home or something like that. You know, I don't have those on DVD. I used to have those. And then they made another one. Wait a minute, they made 2, actually. They made one in the 70s, I think, and one in the 80s. When they went to England, and then, of course, then they had the goofy one with Sid Caesar and everything, and with the replicas were doing bank heists, looking like the Munsters. Of course, the Munsters got blamed for it. We'll talk about that another time, but that's not important right now. We're talking about the TV show right now. So anyway, these both get a 10, and I hope you liked my review. I mean, I could go into like 20, 30 different episodes here and, you know, explain them, but you all know what I'm talking about. So until then, I'm going to let this one go. And anyway, I got to apologize for Penny in the last couple of weeks or so. He's just been out of control, and I am so sorry. I had to sedate him tonight and put him in his bed, you know, because he's kind of out of control, you know. He's drugged out, and he's boozed out, you know, and I felt like I had to jump in back here and try to do a more professional webcast. He's goofy, I'm more straightforward. So I'm gonna call this one shot, done. Maybe we'll do the review on the Addams Family in a couple of days, but you know, I'm not sure when Penny's going to be back. Maybe back tomorrow night. I got to set him straight because he's getting a little bit crazy. You know, he had some kind of a problem at the grocery store with this lady with had too many vegetables in a bag. You know, and he couldn't get through the line fast enough, and his medication was wearing off. You know, poor guy. He's so screwed up, but he's lovable. He loves everybody, but everybody seems to hate him anyway. But anyway. I'll talk to Penny about straightening up his act a little bit. I'm probably not going to do much good, but I'll give it a shot anyway, you know. So anyway, we're going to call this one done. And I hope you enjoyed this review. Always post your comments below, either on the Facebook page. Wait a minute, I don't have a Facebook page. Yes, I do. or the Facebook video or the YouTube video. You know, there's always comment boxes below, so tell me what you think. And until then, we'll see you guys later. Bye now.